It actually happened! After a year of hype, the new Panorama has been released in a beta update, which you can access yourself by changing your beta settings in your CSGO properties like so. And boy, I would say it was worth the wait. Before I get into the gallery walk of changes, essentially what the video will be, I first wanted to dig into the performance of the new HUD, since for many, that is the most important part of this update. Sadly, at least from what I found, the new update will not help you much if you're down on your luck. I benchmarked both in the classic FPS benchmark map by Ulytical, and using fraps running around Dust 2. I did these benchmarks with and without the HUD on CPU and GPU limited tests. The graphs you should care most about are these on Dust 2, where I ran around and benchmarked my FPS using fraps. In both, there were slight increases in FPS, with a larger change in FPS on the CPU limited test. These changes aren't revolutionary though, meaning if you struggled with FPS before, you'll probably still now. The other tests are in the spreadsheet in the description if you're curious. When booting up the game, instead of seeing this old image with the Valve sound, there's now a minimal, but in my opinion nice looking CSGO logo that fades, and the main menu has changed from this to this. In my opinion, the new main menu is absolutely beautiful, beating every piece of concept art I've seen for a main menu. The blog posts now take up a pretty small window of the screen, which can be popped out for the whole article just by clicking on the article preview. Below this is the shop I've always ignored, but now it's much cleaner and easier to navigate to buy cases and keys. Oh, also, if you haven't noticed, there's a giant model next to these windows. The devs knew me well enough to put my favorite model in for me, but I'll show you later how you can change which one's on the main menu. The things the model does is surprisingly diverse, ranging from our precious CT moving their fingers while decking out their deagle, to a terrorist bobbling the bomb. It seems a lot of weapons have cute little interactions, which really stood out to me. I would say that this is a really cool change, but I'm kind of a sucker for stuff like this. I couldn't figure a way to change the background though. Perhaps it will change by day or for special events. Or maybe it takes too much work to animate the clouds and stuff and it won't change. Not sure. Also, there were these weird things flying in the background. Spooky. Moving on to the right side. Now, your profile and your friends are hidden away, which will extend out when you hover your mouse over them. You still have your badges, minus the achievement ones, your level, and your rank. The number of wins you have in matchmaking is still accessible, but now they're hidden away to make you feel less bad about having 700 wins and being in Gold Nova 3. To see my wingman rank, I had to click down this arrow, but I'm not sure if this would show automatically if I had a rank in the game mode. There's a nice background now to go behind your profile of whatever medal you have equipped. Lastly, you can click on your picture to access your profile pretty quickly, or change your color. When you change your color, all of your badges refresh for some reason. Below your profile are a list of your friends online. There still is more detail given to those playing CSGO, but now you can finally view the ranks of your friends when they're out of the game. The player cards of your friends are very sleek, looking similar to yours, but with an option to invite or chat, along with viewing their profile. If you try hard enough, you can hide some of their player cards, but it takes a bit of effort. The next tab allows you to view nearby lobbies, filtering by either normal or wingman games. The tab after allows you to view the profiles of those you played with recently, and the last tab allows you to view friend requests and add your own friends using that friend code thingy. Joining lobbies is very easy like before, but the lobby menu is very different. Instead of being moved to a completely new window, the whole lobby is stuck up in the top right. I like this a lot more, and hopefully many are happy to learn that you can now change your settings while in a lobby. Thank goodness. On to settings. These changes are almost all just visual, but they're very, very nice. The first thing you may notice is, yet again, we're staying in the same window as the main menu, as opposed to the previous HUD where it'd move you to a completely separate window. This, for some reason, makes everything seem lighter? I'm not sure. The next thing you may notice are tabs now. These are pretty nice, as they split the pretty large setting pages into manageable segments. Switching between different pages is very quick and easy now, which is a lot nicer than the previous method. The changes I noticed was a swap of the position of these two for whatever reason, and a cool way of changing where the HUD is restricted to. The tab above the settings is Overwatch, now getting its very own window. This text isn't new, but now it's not hidden away and has a lot more organization to make it easy to read. Going into the Overwatch case, and the game in general, there's a nice fading animation. Everything looks a lot sleeker in the new Spectator HUD. There seems to be a glow around the player you're spectating, which isn't needed, but looks nice. The stats in player HUD are a bit smaller, which I don't think is a bad thing, nor really a good thing, with a cool CT overlay now. I wonder if this image can be replaced with a team banner in the future. I guess we'll see. Now, did the demo UI get renovated? Nope. We can't have too much fun. Again, the ending prompt is essentially the same as the previous HUD, but now the categories are larger with a scrolling window now. I imagine elite Overwatchers may find this slightly annoying since it will slow down their speedrun, but as a casual Overwatcher, I enjoy how it feels. Once an Overwatch case is done, the icon temporarily disappears until another one is ready for you. On to spectating in general. For tournaments, there's now a selection page for which one you want to dig into. This looks really nice, but for some reason the Boster Major is missing. When in a game summary, you can now click and see the player card of the players, which is nice, but the cards are kind of buggy for various reasons. Also, now you can't skip to a certain round in the replay, which really sucks, since this is a tool I like to use a lot for that one great moment each game. I really hope this isn't intentional. The stream page looks more or less the same, but still looks a lot nicer with banners matching the color of the thumbnail. When loading into the game, there's this weird pop sound like you're plugging in your headphones into the headphone jack. Not sure what's up with that. Also in demos, it seems that the loading screen fades too quickly. Onto the inventory, which is surprisingly awesome. At first, it doesn't seem too different besides a new background and layout, but basically everything's different. Opening cases is entirely different. The weapons rolling by are a lot larger, as the possible weapons get hidden when you throw away your money. Open the case. I do like this though. Once you get a weapon, you'll now see you can rotate the weapon to see the skin in much finer detail. Now, a completely new thing you can do is view a player model holding the weapon. You can also customize which model holds it, but only CTs can hold CT weapons and vice versa. While they're not all unique, weapons get their own animations and stances, which I love. I especially love the Deagles, which I could have got for $2 cheaper. Please don't open cases. You can easily equip the skin from the same menu, along with viewing detailed information about the skin you wasted money on opening. Once you do equip a skin, there's a cool new message system in the bottom left. I doubt this is only going to be used for skins, and I'm interested to see how this will be used later on. This menu isn't only for the skins you open. Any skin, or really default weapon, can be inspected with and without the player model. For any of these, there's a photo icon in the bottom. Clicking on it will allow the model to use this weapon on the title screen until you select something else. But after a game or a certain amount of time, it seems that the model and the weapon switch. But it seems that rebooting the game doesn't really change which one you have? I'm not sure. I love this and recommend you play around with all the weapons to see which combination you like the most. I personally prefer this one, but I like to see what other cool things people find. In the inventory, you can sort by many qualities, including quality. Coins seem to be excluded from the player model option, but still look great in the new inspection menu, while sprays have a completely different inspection scene. I found that stickers don't seem to be rendered onto the player model inspection menu. Additionally, you can search for weapons and skins, which is nice, but you also have a renovated loadout menu. It functions the same as the old HUD's loadout menu, but it looks a lot better to me now. Trade-ups also look different now, with a nicer menu and presentation of the weapons you traded for. Onto the gameplay. Immediately, the menu is a lot more appealing on the eye to me. While there still are tabs, the maps are a lot bigger and easier to select. It's actually really fun to select since the sound with the zooming in feels awesome to spam. Also note that Prime Matchmaking was ticked off for me by default for some reason. The permission settings has a larger window with a bit more description on the different modes. The transition between modes are pretty nice. The drop-down menu still exists, but it's in a better place now, and it feels nice to transition between. The community browser is also here tucked away. The one thing I couldn't find is how to access the workshop maps. I couldn't find it and had to get to the FPS benchmark map by using the console. When loading into a game, you'll see that the minimap image has changed, besides cache, to be more minimalistic. They look kinda similar to the simple radar project that I used for quite a while. Once loading into some of the game modes, there's a new team selection menu with animations now. Once loading in, you'll immediately notice differences everywhere, with no more background on your health and bullets, and different colors and spacing on the timer and the player count in the top. The chat looks a lot cleaner also, with fading animations and shadows to help. When opening up the buy menu, you can now see the money and the weapons of your teammates. Also, the buy time remaining is easier to see. Weapons in the buy menu have silhouettes, and now the bar graphs look cooler. You can drag the weapons for whatever reason, and with the skin equipped, you can see their quality at the top. In-game, there's a new death notice shape. Once you went around, the end screen is entirely different. Neat. The scoreboard also looks a lot different. In the scoreboard, while most of the stuff is found in the same place, it still looks a lot different, like how the players remaining are now bars instead of people, and how the color of everything is entirely different. What's really neat is the option to show more advanced stats, like ADR and headshot percentage. The scoreboard also updates constantly, leading to cool sliding animations when someone overtakes someone else in score. I somehow got a bot to take up 2 slots on the scoreboard, and for some reason it kept flip-flopping the ranks of them. There's also a skill group column, which didn't have anything even though I have a rank in matchmaking. I'm not sure what's supposed to go there, or if maybe it only shows ranks when you're in matchmaking. Alerts are now different, and so are diffuses, where now they added milliseconds to the timer to add to the suspense. Also, if you have a kit, the icon changes from a bomb to a diffuse kit. There's also a cool winning animation at the end of the game. In Arms Race, it looks like this with the top 3 getting credit, whereas in casual and matchmaking, it says which side won. This really doesn't make sense to put in matchmaking to me, since you play on both sides, but it's too good not to use. Overall, I'm very, very happy with this update. I imagine others will have more problems with it than me since I'm not as picky nor a graphics designer. Overall, I'm very happy with the approach Valve took to this. The game feels like it jumped up years in its look, and it's the coolest main menu I've seen out of any game, with the only competition I can think of being Dota 2. I'm probably very biased, and I don't play that many games, but I'd like to see what others think are on the same or higher levels. I probably missed a few elements, but most of what I saw is what you'll see in game. Oh, also, one more bug.